Okay, hello everyone. My name's Cal and I'm here with the ARC team here in EF, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the visa steps for candidates looking to come to China from Australia. If you're from New Zealand, Canada, the US, South Africa, UK or Ireland, there's separate different videos going through the visa steps for those countries, and you can find links to those videos in the description below. You can also find a link to the medical check process as well in the description below as well. So first thing we're going to do is take a look at the full process, each step, and then we'll look at each step a little bit more in detail. So first of all, step one is notarization of your degree, your criminal background record check, and your TEFL certificate. Step two is authentication of your degree, criminal background record check, and TEFL certificate with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, or DFAT. Then step three is authentication of your degree, criminal background record check, and TEFL certification with the Chinese consulate. Step four is to send the documents to the school's HR team. And then finally, step five is receive your documents from the school and then use them to apply for your Z visa. So we'll take a look at the first step of this process. Step one is to complete your police check. So for Australian candidates, the approximate timeline for this is 2 to 10 working days. This here is what your police check will look like. It'll have the police service logo on it, padlock and key watermark, the Australian hologram, and then the National Police Certificate microtype on it as well. The documentation that you need to apply for your police record check are these things. You'll need your Australian passport, your Australian driver's licence or Medicare card, and then both of the above must have the same address as each other and as the address you use on your application. So just to reiterate that, your passport, your driver's license, a Medicare card, and your application form for the police check must all have the same address on them. The approximate cost for this is $60, $60 US dollars, $59.90. And some notes about this process. The police check can be completed online through Australia Post at aupost.com.au/police-checks. This was certainly the best way that I could see to do it. Okay, so step two, notarise a copy of your bachelor's degree and your police check. So approximate timeline for this is same day. This is a kind of example of what a notarised Australian degree looks like here on the right. The documentation that you need for this, you need your original degree, one colour copy of your degree and your identification, and then you also need your police check from the last stage as well. Approximate cost for this, it'll cost about $100 US dollars to get everything notarised. You can shop around a little bit, find out which notary is cheapest and quickest in your area as well. Some notes about this part of the process. This can be done at any local public notary office, lawyer or solicitor's office. Everything must be notarised as being a true and original copy. So must be notarised as being a true and original copy of the degree. Your background record check must be authenticated as a true and original copy as well. Some cities in China, that is, some cities also require your TEFL to be notarised as well. If that's the case, get your TEFL notarised at this stage as well. Okay, so step three, authenticate your documents with DFAT. So the approximate timeline for this is also same day. This little sort of symbol that's just flipped around here, this is the authentication stamp from DFAT, from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The documentation that you need a legislation application form, which can be found in the DFAT website. You'll need your notarised copy of your degree and your original degree. Your original copy of your police check, which should be notarised, but if for some reason the notary notarised a copy of your police check, you'll need the original copy of the police check and the notarised copy of the police check, and you'll need your ID. Also, if your city requires the TEFL to be notarised and authenticated, you'll need your notarised TEFL certificate here as well. So the approximate cost for this stage is 80 US dollars. Sorry, not US dollars, Australian dollars. And some notes for this part. Can be done in person and returned the same day at any Australian passport office, but an appointment must be made, and that can be done on the DFAT website. It can also be done by post. If you do it by post, you don't need to make an appointment, obviously. You just send away your documents to the passport office or to the DFAT office. But if you do it by post, it should take around 4 business days to send it, get it legalised, and then sent back to you. Under no circumstances should any of the official seals on the documents be broken when they return to you. And like I said before, if your TEFL needs to be authenticated as well, you do it this step as well. Okay, so step 4, authenticate the legalised degree and police check with the Chinese consulate. So the approximate timeline for this is 4 working days. And this thing that's just dropped down here, this is what will be put in each of your documents once this authentication process is completed. This is the seal from the Chinese consulate to let people know that they have authenticated this as being a real document. The documentation that you need an authentication application form, which can be found at the Chinese consulate website. Just go on Google and search for Australian Chinese consulate and you'll be able to get the application form on there. You need your notarised and legalised copy of your degree. You'll need your original degree. You'll need your notarised and legalised copy of your police check. Your notarised and legalised copy of your TEFL certificate if the city requires that. And you'll need your ID. The approximate cost for this is 30 Australian dollars per document. And some things to note here, you can submit it in person or by using a third party. So a third party includes a family member or an agency. Next day and 3-day rush services are available for an extra cost. I put £15 there, but obviously that's not the case. The extra cost can be found in the Chinese consulate website. And the authenticated documents will be returned with that seal as shown there. Alright, so step 5, email the documents to the school. So once everything's been returned from the Chinese consulate and it contains that seal that was on the last slide, send everything to the school. So the approximate timeline for this, as soon as you get it back from the Chinese consulate, scan it into your computer and get it sent away the same day. In terms of then getting the invitation letter and work permit from the city and the school, that takes about 2 to 8 weeks depending on the city and the local government in that city. So some cities it only takes 2 weeks, some it takes almost 2 months. But the HR team in that city will communicate with you and step you through the process and tell you where your documents are through the process as well, so you'll know how long it will take. So this is what an invitation letter looks like. It'll be something like this, maybe not exactly the same, but it'll look like this, and it'll have that red stamp that's on the invitation letter there as well. This is the official red stamp in China, and these are on all official documents here. So the documentation that you need here, you need your authenticated copy of your degree, your authenticated copy of your police check. You're going to need a copy of your passport page, so that's the page with your picture, your date of birth, your place of birth, all that kind of stuff. You'll need a professional headshot photo, so this is like a passport style photo. Picture of your face, white background, that kind of thing. You'll need your TEFL certificate, and if it's a city that requires authentication, you'll need obviously your authenticated TEFL certificate. You'll need a signed copy of the medical disclosure form, and like I said at the beginning of this video, there is a link in the description below for you to follow that will explain a little bit about the medical disclosure form procedure. You'll need a copy of your most recent and up-to-date CV, and you'll need a copy of your reference letter written by your most recent employer on company-headed paper. So these are the things that you need to email to the school once you have them and once they've been authenticated. So approximate cost for this is free, obviously. You just email it to the school. It's not going to cost you anything to do that. And some things to note here. Once all the documents have been provided to the school's HR, they can begin processing the documents needed on the Chinese end of things to get you that work visa. And then finally, step 6, you're going to apply for that Z visa, that work visa. So an approximate timeline for this is 4 to 7 working days. So this is after you get all your documents back from the Chinese side of things. That would be your work permit and your invitation letter. You're going to apply for your Z visa, and it'll take 4 to 7 working days. This here is what the Z visa looks like. This will be what's in your passport when you get it back. And the documentation that's needed here, you need all your documentation from the previous stage. So that's your degree, your criminal record check, your TEFL, all of which would be notarised and legalised and things like that. You're going to need a passport style photo, your CV, your reference letter, and then everything that was sent over to you by the school from China. So the work permit, the invitation letter, things like that. So the approximate cost for this is 110 Australian dollars plus the agency fee. And some things to know about this. All documents should be taken at the Chinese consulate in person or through a third-party agency. Again, visa agent or a parent or a friend, anybody will do here. If done in person, there'll be no agency fee, obviously. And there is a rush service that can be done for 167 Australian dollars if you're in a rush to get your stuff back as well. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. As always, if you've got any further questions or anything you want to know, if you've been through the process and you want to give us some feedback, comment in the box below or send us an email to frarc@ef.com. That's fr_arc@ef.com. You can see in the slide there. I wish you good luck with the visa process, and any guidance, any support you need, contact us or your HR team and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.